Alrighty, ladies, gentlemen, welcome. How are we all doing? I hope you've all had a wonderful weekend. Welcome to another week on the charts, guys. And without further ado, let's get this show on the road. So as always, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, no matter where we are around the world, guys. Hope you all are doing well. Looking forward to another big week on the charts. Obviously, we've got a lot of the high impact news out of the way that begins the month. So interesting to see where the chart's at just now. As always, we will take a look at both gold, GJ, and any other pairs as per request. So in the meantime, guys, let's quickly take a look at the news and see if there is anything scheduled for our session here today moving forward. And what we can see is, well, it is bank holidays for a few parts of the world today. We're obviously here in Australia, it's a bank holiday. I am still here though, guys, nonetheless. So that deserves a like. YouTube, smash the like button. TikTok, smash that screen for me. Even on the public holiday, we're still streaming. It is also a public holiday in Europe, or parts of Europe by the looks of it. So perhaps the volume may be a little bit, may not be there today. Obviously, we've still got the UK market open. So that is the most liquid of them all. So we'll see what we can come up with moving forward. Into my session today, nothing major as well. So pretty smooth sailing. And guys, let's get started. So without further ado, guys, if you could make sure to hit that like button. YouTube, TikTok, smash that screen for me. Any charts or any questions, I'll get to all of those shortly. And let's get started. And we can begin with, as per the usual, let's begin with the gold. So looking at the gold and that starting at the weekly time frame, looking at that previous weekly candle, what we can see is it closed back a bullish candle, but albeit a very weak bullish candle. So towards the end of the week, we did actually reject the resistance on the high time frame, only to close back weak bullish. So off the back of that, that may suggest that we've grabbed that liquidity from the upside. And if we were to begin to break the low of that previous weekly candle, high probability that price could continue to the downside and perhaps make a deeper pullback towards that 3200 flat sort of region. And off the back of the length of that wick to the upside also, we were to break the low and continue bearish in line with the direction of towards the end of the week, then we don't necessarily need to pull back too far within a current weekly candle to create an upper wick. So excuse me, we'll make our way down to the daily time frame just now. So obviously the daily, what we can see here is structurally we do remain bullish, but what we now have is counter probabilities being to the downside. We've not quite tapped into that support. I did send in a chart to my members in a update video yesterday about what I've been looking for moving forward into this week to look for the buyers, and we haven't quite tapped into that level just yet. We got close to it, but we'll see what sort of counts we may have to look for any buys nonetheless. So what we can see is the daily, once again, structurally does remain bullish. Not so concerned by the structure on this time frame, seeing we are just looking for small movements within the market. More concerned by the candle directions themselves and where we are. So the current candle has a lower high, lower low to the previous. Therefore, if we were to continue bearish, there really isn't all that much of a need for price to pop back up and break its own high. If we do so, we're going to have a look and see if we have any sort of catalyst to potentially look for a buy above that point there. Now, onto the 4 hour time frame. As we can see, we are, and this is where I'm starting to be a little bit more cautious of the structure. And what we can see is still technically bullish, guys. So once again, this is the highest point the market got to on the impulse to the upside, which flipped the structure back from being bearish to bullish. We have not closed above that point there, so we have wicked above it but failed to close above it. So therefore, the way I see it, we failed to create the higher high. So off the back of that, we will remain bullish. The last 2 or more consecutive candle pullback in the opposite direction to the trend is this point here. So as long as we remain above this 3270 sort of region, we're technically bullish on the 4 hour time frame. But having said that, what we can see is we are forming a series of low highs, lower lows, honing in on some support here to the left hand side. Not quite tapped into it. Don't have a zone, not sure what to do with it, because we'll see what we've got in the 30. But I would normally be marking that level in because it is support here in a 4 hour. As far as resistance, we'll mark in some levels on the M30 time frame. So what we can see is we are technically bullish also on the 4 hour time frame. Now onto the 30-minute time frame. All right, so what I'm going to do is just adjust the zone down a little bit. Below the support here, we're running straight into the 4-hour level, so you're pretty much just marking that whole zone for the time being. For aesthetic reasons on the stream, we're just marking the most recent. And now we'll turn our attention to the current price action. And what we can see is, guys, the 30-minute structure at the minute is technically bearish. So therefore, bias is still technically bullish, but with the daily candle probabilities being to the downside and the 30-minute structure being to the downside, I could definitely see options to take a sell. Not only that, I can definitely see options to take a buy, a more probable buy. So the catalyst for me, first of all, to look for the buy options, guys, what I want to see is, I want to see price confirm the structure flip back bullish. So that would be a closure above the current daily candle high. If that was to be the case, we flip structure bullish, we're going to start to contemplate some options to take some buys. However, what we can see in the 15-minute time frame here, got still a little bit of choppiness to the left. What we want to see it above that point, 33.1980. We've got potentially enough margin up to 33.2350 to look for a potential buy. So the back of that, I want to see a closure above. I want that confirmation of the structure flipping back bullish, and above that 15-minute resistance, we may have some options to take a potential buy. Now, having said that, I don't mind. I do like the sell options quite a lot in the minute. Not just now, I mean, but potentially moving forward. What I want to see is one of a few things. What we have done within the current daily candle, we have recently formed support at this point here. Go down back to the 30 for a minute. Yep, lowest point of any bullish candle. So if we were to now begin to reject, what we can see is below the most recent support, we do have some clean price action down towards 33.04, and there could be enough margin within that for us to look for a potential sell from below the most recent support. So that will look something like so. If price was to pop back down, what I'm simply waiting for is the closure below, following candle to tap back in. Now I can look for my potential sell options off the back of that. I would prefer the closure below the retest and then continuation sell, a zone to zone play. However, I may consider an impulse entry so long as we approach this minor support with volume and close right down near the low of it. So that's going to be an option for me to take a sell. What I can also see is there's going to be further options to take a sell below 33.0435. At point, we're running into clean traffic to the left, back down towards the current daily candles low. Excuse me. So, guys, at the minute, I would prefer to sell options, where it would be below 33.09 or even a little bit higher up, 33.18 if we did reject. However, I will also contemplate the buys. Whilst the micro trend within the structure itself, this is where it may get a little bit confusing, but believe me, it's not. Whilst it's actually forming some lower highs, lower lows, this is something I mentioned in the update video yesterday for my guys. So we create that low, lower high, lower low. So now what we've done is we've started to flip the micro trend. So we've created that higher high, higher low. Now if we were to reject and come back down and look, create an equal low here at 33.04. So break this support, but come back down to the next minor level and form support above. I may also consider my options to buy off the back of the bias being still technically bullish on 3 of the 4 timeframes that I look at to determine my bias. So that is pretty much what I'm looking at just now, guys. Hopefully it makes sense. I'm preferring the sell options, but I would definitely consider options to buy it as well. So my bias on a Monday is usually fixed, but on gold today it's neutral. I can see options to either in either direction, and we possibly could even look for the buys above this support if we have the margin, so long as price creates a clean move back down to it and we get the right catalyst within price action for a potential option to buy it from 33.11. So yeah, that is the goal, guys. Make of that what you will. 30 minutes just closed. There is no option at the minute. Excuse me, guys, still clearing my throat a lot. And let's have a look at GJ. So this is a chart I sent in yesterday and still remains the levels. It's doing exactly what I was looking for, but I will nonetheless remove the drawings and do the top down here on GJ. What we can see starting in the weekly time frame, closed a very strong bullish candle, and that is quite a strong catalyst. So we're done. If you guys can remember from last week, kept saying we kept rejecting that 194 185 flat sort of region, leaving these long upper wicks. What we've done now, the back of that previous weekly candle, is that's a pretty strong catalyst to me to suggest that perhaps we're now finally going to make move up towards that 199 region, 198 199 on the higher time frame picture. So very strong bullish closure off the back of that. Got a mark in the resistance here at 186.412. Above it looks like we may have some pretty clean traffic up. On to the daily time frame, structure lead is bullish, candles closing off the previous daily candle was a strong bullish candle, a lot of volume behind it as well. Above that resistance, we can see we've got some pretty clean traffic up to 197.40. That could be a potential higher time frame target. So bullish current daily candle, inside bar candle, not a great deal of volume. Let's just mark in a low of it though, see what we may have below it if we do have some sort of catalyst. All right, on to the 4 hour, and what we can see is the 4 hour is still technically bullish, but we are rejecting a resistance here to the left. Looks like we've just tapped into it last Friday only to reject. We have most recently formed a bearish engulfing candle. So off the back of that, that's a pretty strong catalyst to look for options to sell it. I'm gonna mark in, this is the most recent support, and we'll make our way down to the 30-minute time frame. All right, so the daily low, excuse me guys, we've formed recently some minor support. However, the structure is bullish on the M30 time frame, and therefore the bias is bullish across the board. So this is where I differentiate between GJ and gold. I'm more fixated on a bias tail on GJ, and that is to the upside. The bias is bullish across the board. I won't have a catalyst just yet because the 30-minute structure is not going to flip bearish until back below 194.80. So a long way off that. So for me, what I'm looking to see is, we'll go down to the 15 just quickly. Where have we got clean traffic in amongst this whole area? And it's above this 15-minute resistance here at 195.923 to be exact. So if price was to begin to pop above that point there, then I would be looking for my options to buy it. So buys above, and that will look something like so. Push above, continuation. That is pretty much what I'll be looking for at the minute on GJ. Otherwise, look, if we do pop back down, maybe even drop below the current daily candles low, grab some liquidity from the downside, only it's close back above. I also consider some buys from the current support. And oh man, it's frustrating. You gotta constantly clear your throat. And otherwise, I mean, the counter trend sells look pretty good off the back of the 4 hour engulfing, bearish engulfing candle. After retesting, just tapping into the resistance. So look, I will contemplate it. Yep, just simply because of the level we're at and the level we are rejecting, and the fact that the micro trend again within the structure, what we can see is kind of now confirming that lower low. So if we do begin to pop below, so create that resistance just now and break and close below the current daily candles low, there's a good chance that we could continue to the downside. So off the back of that, I will consider options to sell it. However, I would be more preferred to look for the bias, just off the back of the bias being bullish across the board. So that is the plan moving forward on both GJ and gold, guys. Let's have a good one. Once again, excuse me. In the meantime, Franco, Carl with G-Man, Archer, g'day to you. Barman, yep, appreciate it, guys. TikTok to the 47 of you, hope you're all doing well. Thank you to the 7 new followers. Now let me skim through the TikTok chat. Any questions or anyone have anything to say? Less Xeno sells today. Could be on gold, it could be sells. Just patiently need to wait for the right confirmation though. Arafin, g'day to you. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. You bought your first car yesterday. Nice little Audi A4. Nice one. Nice one, brother. What's the news week looking like? So there's nothing today. There's a fair few bank holidays around the world. I think you'll find that will be, excuse me, that'll be red folder on most news service providers. So Financial Juice will probably have that listed as red folder news. That is for the pound tomorrow. The claimant change, so the change in number of people claiming unemployment benefits. You got CPI moving forward Wednesday, so Wednesday's a big day for the US dollar. Okay, GDP for the pound on Thursday, so I'll be on stream for that. BPI for the US dollar on Thursday, so there's always news about. And Friday also some high pack news for the US dollar, so predominantly for the US dollar this week. But we shall see. So there's a lot going on around the world, obviously. Especially in the US. Wow. Jesus. They're in all sorts, aren't they? Over in the West. James, point to you. TikTok just not banned anymore, bro. Not in the minute. I think I'm okay. Not sure if, like, when I go overseas, if it will. Excuse me, members. I'll send you guys a link. Man, it's when I talk is when I start to get it, you know, start to cough a little bit and have to clear my throat every 2 seconds. What a cracking start to the month last week. 5-0. Could not have been a better start. 5-0 to a new month and have been just a cracking year. Month on month, just keeps getting better. Alex, for me, this is a long. Fair enough. I can see potential for both. Hayden, good morning to you. Pack to Matrix. So as long as we, well, look, I prefer at the current rate where we are. If we do reject and pop below to support 3309, 3310 roughly, I would look for options to sell it. But I also would consider my options to buy it a little bit lower down. Otherwise, buys above the daily, pretty much back above the daily counters high as well, is another level I would consider options for a potential buy. I tried, yeah, it was a big headache. But again, I'm not sure what the deal will be. But once I go back, spend some time overseas in another 2 months' time, roughly from now. That was what caused the issues last time. So, yeah, we're not sure. Hayden, yeah, so buys above 33.20, sells below it, and sells below 33.10. That's pretty much what I'm looking at. Arafin, house music. Yeah. Dean bought 2 ounces of gold for 5,080 from a 2 ounces of, hold on. What currency? But I mean, if that's Aussie dollars, mate, I hope you've, where did you buy from a dealer? Mate, I hope it's real gold, because there's no way that they'd be selling you 2 ounces for 5,000 and sorry, yeah, 5,080 bucks. Oz, mate, it's more than that. 1 ounce is what is XAU AUD? It's about 5,000, I think, at the minute. XAU, yeah, 5,100 basically, give or take. Oh, okay, really? Well, you did really well, man. How the hell did you get that price? I know my bullion dealer, I mean, the lowest premium, basically the cheapest I can get an ounce of gold right now is about 5,130 roughly. That's pretty much the cheapest I can get gold at the minute. Bloody hell, man. Send me your bullion dealer. Send me a DM, I want to know who it is. Araffin just closed that reversal, 35 pips up. Nice one. Right, GJ potentially rejecting. Let's just remove some of these levels that are far off for the time being. Silver, I can see it's holding that $36 US mark. That is crucial. Silver, guys, this thing is set to explode. It's at the highest level it's been at for 13 years, basically. No, g'day to you, brother. Yeah, all good, mate, all good. Hit the gym a few times and it wasn't a bad weekend, mate. Busy as always. Steve, morning to you, brother. Hope you're well. How is yours? No. KJL, do you scalp also? That is exactly what I do. That's all I do is scalp. You're talking about micro scalping? No, so I don't trade up to 1 minute and in and out every 5 seconds. But I do scalp. So I look for 10, 20, 30, whatever. Sometimes 40, 50 pips. Sometimes the run will go for 100 pips. All right, GJ, excuse me, definitely requires a 30-minute closure because it's coming from consolidation and it's counter trend. It's very, very risky, but it does make sense to look for options to sell it with the clean traffic to the left as well. No name. Glad to hear it, brother. Mine's good. Honestly, just stay trying to heal up completely. Stay indoors. Oh yeah. Man, this autumn flu's been going around. I mean, I got over the worst of it in a couple of days, but still coughing. Still get a little bit congested, still clearing my throat all the time, so it's a bit frustrating, but only brewing coffee. Yeah, I know, man. So as far as a callus, guys, that is a fantastic callus to buy gold, but the issue is there's no margin. But if I was to look for a catalyst to take a position, and let's just say that resistance wasn't there and it was nice and clean, then I would every single day of the week. Be buying gold as it begins to break the high of that bullish candle. So let's just say none of that was there. We had just this clean bearish candle just to the left of the black box here. What I'd be doing is buy stopping the high of that bullish candle. Got a nice strong bullish engulfing. We've got a liquidity candle as well, so it broke the low, had a low high, low low, only to close back above and close bullish engulfing. So if it broke the high, a good chance it's heading up. But the issue is there is resistance. I mean, how far is the resistance away? It's not far at all. Yeah, not even 10 pips. So it could reject that point. Could just tap in and melt. It may not. It could burst through it as well. But nonetheless, you need to have the margin to be able to take a trade. A.C.T, you're expecting London session to break Asian high. Well, the minute looks like it could well do so. Expectations, I have none, because the thing is, if you end up trading based off expectations, that's when you're going to get burnt. Look at gold now. Not quite tapped in, and now it's rejecting. So, hence why I would not have taken an entry just there. Well, didn't take the entry. Because it's below resistance still. It needs to burst through that level. We need the margin up to that level to contemplate an entry towards it, and just didn't have that. So yeah, so I react to what I see as opposed to what I think might happen. Excuse me. So even if I believe there's a good chance we're going to break the Asian session highs, I can't trade off the back of that. I need to wait for a confirmation. At this rate, my confirmation won't come. We continue up to the upside just now until back above 33.20 roughly. Agreed, of course. You're holding buys from 32.98. Okay. Well, you're looking very good, my friend. So just don't be greedy. Very might see reversal potentially. Yes, potentially at the current level. Maybe, but not going to react to anything until I have a confirmation. Once again, no, tapped in and look at it now. So it could end up closing and bursting through it. But again, hence why I wasn't interested in taking a trade up to that level. The runner would have been stopped out either way. Had I kept a position or had I taken a trade. Absolutely perfect. Taps in and rejects. Free up, looked at it many times already. It's not quite tapped into support. It's not tapping into any resistance. It's broken out of the previous candle. That's a good thing. It's for continuation to the upside. Excuse me. Oh, man. Have you tried a gold trader? Not yet, mate. Not yet. Just patiently waiting. Hassan, there is no TP. There's no entry. So how can there be a TP? Gold trader, thank you, and likewise to you. To Mike, guys, good afternoon to you, Leyland, James, Franco, or good morning to you, James and Franco. Good afternoon, Leyland. Hope you guys are doing well.
Hey, good morning.
How are you, brother?
I'm okay. So we have bank holiday here.
Yeah.
I'm okay. You?
Yeah, same here. Bank holiday. Yeah, all good, mate. All good.
So you had also a good weekend.
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. Managed
I
to.
was very lazy yesterday.
Nothing wrong being lazy.
Pardon me?
Nothing wrong from time to time with being lazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was looking right now on GU, but didn't send out. Chart
Okay.
to
Yeah.
Discord. It seems a little bit. I don't know. I'm struggling. Maybe I can send a chart. Maybe we can talk about it if you want.
Yep.
Okay.
It's still technically bearish here on the 30 as well, GU. So this is a really, really good level to look for options to sell it from. We're a bit below this support here. So if it does reject the current resistance, and it's also last significant lower high, so some really good options potentially on GU here, because it's going to flip bullish upon the closure above this actual wick here. So if you just to wait for it to close above the minor resistance at 135,674, GU looks pretty good for buys, and below 135,490 looks good for sells.
Yeah, but I'm struggling a little bit on the buys at the end because
Yep.
we are approaching an H4 resistance.
Okay, yep.
Because we had it 2 times, correct? So this put me a little. This is why I'm struggling at the end in this area, really to take from this area some buys. So this I'm struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
Therefore, I was hesitate to send the chart into Discord because I'm not really. I don't know how to react on this area at the end.
There's not a great deal of margin, is there?
Yeah, there is 7 pips.
Yeah.
And it was 7.1 pips there, which is not bad for GU, but if you are considering closing above this, the resistance, then for sure it's less than 7 pips.
Yeah, correct.
So, yeah, and as you mentioned, so we are bearish right now on the time frame, M30 time frame. Yeah, it's this area I would not consider to take from my side.
Fair enough.
Buys. Maybe waiting. But as you marked here, sells in this area and the screen area, I would take it.
Yeah, I think the sells look great.
Yeah, and then maybe if you're coming to the lower side, so maybe taking buys because we are on supports on the lower side of H4
Yep.
support.
Yeah, I think below 135,490 looks really good if it does manage to reject. Yeah, I can understand what you mean to the upside, how it's closing on a 4-hour resistance, but there is clean traffic. It's just as long as you can get a 1-to-1 on GU, because you should be able to on GU. Like if you've got 7 pips to that resistance, if using technical stop loss based on the previous candle, a lot of time you still have like a 6 pip stop loss. So there you go, that'd be a 1-to-1.
Yeah, it could be a 1-to-1, absolutely. So, so it's not impossible, let me say.
No. Just have to wait. Gold, interesting. So we're potentially got a catalyst forming. Need to wait 5.5 minutes though. Want the closure above. We have the closure above this resistance, and I will be looking for buys on the following M30. That's all I'm waiting for right now. I'm not chasing it just now because it would easily reject. We could burst through it, not a problem. It's not my trade. Not my trade to be taken right now. It's coming from well too far below the resistance. It's not ticked the box in accordance to my rules for an impulse entry for a breakout trade, so I have to patiently wait 5 minutes. Twan in a buy? No, not nothing. Very love trade market open. Asian session, like I said before, the best entry is most of the time. Yeah, Asian session is great. Blessino sells right. Could be looking for buy soon. 90-man short buy. Yeah, go on, mate.
I'm sorry. So you would not consider some sells on GJ, because it's coming.
No, we'll
nicely
consider a counter
down.
trend. The thing is, I mean, it's bullish across the board, but the fact that we rejected the 4-hour resistance here literally tapped into it. So it's a higher time frame level, daily level, 4-hour, and we are now got the 4-hour counter probabilities to the downside. Previous counter was a bearish engulfing counter. We've also got the micro trend structure now moving to the downside. But seeing it's just consolidating, it's a slow trickle down, we need the confirmation of the closure below right now. And I would consider it.
Yeah, okay. Because it's pretty strong right now, and if we are closing pretty strong below this recent support there, I would consider some sells on GJ. Yeah, okay.
Yep, I think it's a good option for sure. So we'll keep a bit of an eye on both. I would prefer, as you know, to trade gold, but we'll see. EU bullish right now. Look, gold, yep, looking at gold broke resistance, yep, looking at, guys. Man effects, this will not reject, it may not, it may, we'll see. Again, I'm not predicting, I'm waiting for price to show me what it's going to do. If it is going to close above it, then fantastic, I can look for options to buy it. And if we remain below it, then I have to wait for a potential sell option, but don't have anything in regards to the sells just yet. Money man effect, straight to the moon. Antsy, we buying potentially. Joe, 27 minutes, a nice buy. Antsy, yep, we buying. What's TP? There is no trade to have a TP yet. Entry is 33.12. Well, you had some resistance just now, mate, so don't be greedy. I would be break even and would have secured something. Xauusd, 33.30. Okay. Nice pre-London move for it. Mems, M3 might be a sell. Could be. Alright. So it happens to be at the minute that both gold and GJ may provide a potential option. So just gonna get them both using obviously my MagicKeys, have the horizontal set to the levels that I want to get involved in a trade on both at the minute. On GJ is 195.634, so 620 would be okay. I'm not sending anything just yet though, I need to wait for confirmations. Gold. Now gold has to close above because I want the confirmation of the structure flipping bullish. It's technically above this bearish candle high. It's the confirmation. But I want above that resistance. So on GJ, if you're following along, what we want to see is this candle close below the blue zone. We want the following candle to create an upper wick. As soon as it creates an upper wick, tapping into this zone, then we can look to set a sell stop below the low of the current candle's low. So what you're best to do right now is hover over on your broker's chart this candle and see what lowest point of it is. And then you're potentially looking for a entry just below that point. Generally speaking, about 1.5 to 2 pips below. All right, gold. We could have also a potential buy here on gold. So same thing. Check out what the highest point on your broker chart is. 33.20.45. 33.20.65. All right, we've confirmed a structure flip. Lower wick. All right, so options are GJ sells. It's
It results looks better in gold.
yep. Have we got to tap in? Well, we pretty much have. Oh, so there goes GJ.
Are you in?
No, I didn't set GJ. Man, GJ's gonna. The gold still looks good too, guys.
You was
GJ.
not able to set buy stop,
Sell
sell
stop.
stop, correct?
No,
I was also not able.
that was too quick. But this is how I'd be playing GJ if you are in it. Stop loss beep up that point there.
Maybe if we would touch again the support. Did it touch already, Justin?
GJ
Yeah, the support.
didn't quite tap in. Look, on the 5 minute, you've... Yeah, not quite, to be honest.
Because maybe if we are touching right now and maybe the break of its own high again, I don't know how much it is.
No, I'm not gonna.
It's too much. 3,
Nah.
4 pips. Okay.
I'm not gonna enter that. If it, I know what you mean. If it pulls back up and then drops again, I'm not gonna enter that. Nah, it's one of those ones. If you're in it, you're in it. I'm not in it. Didn't get to say in time. So let's see. Have we got the entry here on gold? All right, so gold does look okay because the fact of the matter is it's popped up. It's now popping back down. So if we were to pop back up again and break above that previous candle's high, I feel there could be options to take a buy here. So I'm just contemplating whether it be worth... No, it has to be above the resistance. So your entry would have to be above that previous candle's high. That's where your entry has to be. So what's that? 33, 20.65 roughly. Because you've just got the confirmation of the structure flipping back bullish. You've broken out of the resistance, but you failed to close above it. So if it now breaks the candle's high that actually broke the resistance yet again, then I feel it's a high probability at that point that we could head up to 33.23. So 65 is a potential entry point. And if it rejects, so this is okay. I don't mind this right now. Because if it's tapping into the low of that resistance again, so if it does bounce from this point and flip and break its own high, break above that previous candle high, then I would suggest we grab a little bit more liquidity from this range below in order to make the move up. However, if the coming close to the closure of the 15-minute candle, and we are looking like we're going to close back bearish back below, then I'm just going to remove the order. And that's what I would be personally doing. Carly waiting for the M30 closure. What's it doing just now? I think I must have. Sorry. That was probably from earlier, yeah. Are you in it, mate? Did you take an entry on GJ? You're in? Okay. I wonder if you would have got slipped, because that just seems to tank as soon as it flipped. We're expecting buy London open, but can reject first. Let's see. Could do anything. And if it continues to drop a little bit further, now I'm going to remove the order. And just patiently wait again. Hi, I tried to join Discord, but it's not available in WAP. Can you please share an invite? Yeah, you have to... TikTok are funny, man. You can't share invites. You can't share links and that on TikTok. Just go to my profile. It should work, mate. It should work. If you got any issues, just send me a DM and I'll send you the address and you just copy it and onto a browser and paste it and should be able to access it that way. Gold trader only interested in selling, a rally on gold, no interest in buys. Okay, fair enough. That's a management plan, so that's fair enough. Joe and Joe, let's go gold. No weakness. How is the buy when it is sell? I don't understand. What do you mean? How is it buy when it's sell? I mean, if you're fixated on sell, then that's what you'll look for. I've got options for both. So I'm looking for the buy above, and if it continues to reject as it is, I'm just going to remove the order. I'm not in the order, not in the trade just yet. So. Alias Sadi, buy, let's go buy. Home sell. Iris, buy or sell. Or got a buy stop in. No weakness. No, that's fair enough. We're all allowed to have different opinions of things, so. Alias, buy, let's go. And a gaming outlet. The selling area, I think this zone will spike up first and continue to drop. And it could potentially do that as well. Just have to wait and see. No weakness, okay, yep. And Zul Rahman. When buy, well, I've got a buy stop set 33, 20, 65. Jashio, been in gold 33.12 buy, nice one. Em, thanks so much. I wish you amazing great green week, and you too. Lou, I'm in buys, nice one. JMPS, what is your TP? And yeah, I will look to secure partials pretty early. I'm not greedy. I like to get some, you know, a win on the board if I can, and look to manage it if it goes against me as well. So I think a good realistic target is 33.23, and then look to hold positions, but I'll probably start securing, you know, 10, 20 pips in or whatever. YG, thank you for that sticker. Joe and Joe, you like to buy? Yep. Deep Rider, buy or sell now? Nothing right now. I've got a buy stop set though. Things we're hovering, we keep hovering and tapping into the low of this resistance. So the longer we hang around it and reject it, and if we eventually break the high, I feel there's a high probability that we will actually make a little bit of a move up, and where enough where I could potentially take some profit, you know, from the trade. So and a gaming outlet, because in daily time frame support, not touch it. Yeah, that is true. Not quite. Yep, I did mention that before as well. Chris, good day to you, mate.
Morning.
How's it going?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
All good, brother. All good. Just looking for
We got a
gold buy
set already.
Yeah, I got a gold buy set at 33, 20.65. But we'll see if this 15 closes bearish, then I may remove it. I will see. It just depends how strong it closes as well, if it used to close bearish. So I still do like the buys at the minute. And my screen's froze. It's all right now. I'm not going to contemplate an early entry above this 15-minute high if it does close weak bearish. Reason being is because it's not above the resistance, so I'm still looking for the exact same entry level. I want to break above that previous candle's high. At that point, we're well above that resistance again. And there's pretty clean traffic to the left. Marion, thank you for the sticker as well. Read, be careful before London. Yep. Avicenna, good trade. Just think you have a stop loss set too high. Maybe you wait for the second dip. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's totally fair enough. Again, that's just the way I go about it. But you know, I respect your opinion. Joe and Joe, if it stays, then sell. And please excuse the stupid question, but we are now 38 minutes in the London session, right? Or no, London session opens in just under 20 minutes. And gee, it's gonna fall from 33 to 24, friend. Okay, yeah, could do that. Again, I'm just reacting to, you know, what I'm seeing. And that's pretty much it. That's all I'm doing. My screen keeps freezing. Yeah, say we in. $15, a nice little, forms a nice structure here on the M5, sorry. So the M5 is closed above, it's retested, we're starting to push back above that resistance. So to me, it's looking still pretty good. Panagaming, no rush chilling, yep. Joshio, it's looking at 33.39. Yeah, you got some resistance in between though.
Morning, Justin.
Alright, how are you?
Very well, thanks. You?
All good. We're not far away from some gold buys here, so I know you don't trade it, but
Yeah, I was only going to ask why you're ignoring the wick on the left.
because it's a
Yeah, that one there.
it's a bullish candle, so
Okay.
I'm not so concerned by it. I know that one is too, but I want to get involved with the momentum as it creates that higher high, higher low kind of probabilities being to the upside at that point.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And what I can do is straight away, I'm just going to adjust my stop loss to a bit below this candle, and that will already cut about 15 pips off the stop loss. M, thank you. All good. Joe and Joe, bye. Well, looks like we could slightly, well, sorry, shortly be involved in my M to align with my time zone. M2C L, don't you think this is Asian and MY sweep come back down? It could well do so. Is that it? I mean, anything could happen. Yeah, I'm just reacting to, you know, what I'm seeing. I've got the confirmation of the M30 flipping bullish. We're back above the resistance. We've rejected the zone. We've popped back into the range below, only to reject, popping back up. So that's enough for me to look for buys. Now, what I would prefer is if it triggers in on the following M15. If this one closes up near its high, leaving a small upper wick. Because at that point, we've got the confirmation, or almost, not quite in, guys, and not being triggered in. But if we have the 15-minute confirmation of that closing above, then that's a pretty solid catalyst as well to look for an entry. So I've not been triggered in. I've got a buy stop, so buy stop above the current high. Guys, you wait for next hour. That's fair enough. Totally fair enough. We've got 15 minutes until session open. 7 mood 316. Thank you for the sticker. All right, so the 15's about to close. Want it to close above. And guys, if this is going to take too long and we're drawing close to London open, then I will remove the order. All right, nice closure here. Perfect closure on the 15. Would now love to see a bit of a low wick. Perfect. Don't necessarily need to retest. It's all good as long as we've got the low wick. And if we begin to break above that previous candle's high, it'd be triggered in. So I'm very close to being triggered in. Army, what would be your planned TP stop loss at this point? TP, I always, especially at the beginning of the week, I'll take just small positions off the table. So maybe anywhere above 10 pips really. On gold, for the most part, it's between 12 and 15 of late. First TP. Realistic targets 33.23. Stop loss is below the previous M30 at the minute. Sorry, not the previous M. Well, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to adjust stop loss already. So just a little bit below the previous M15. So all right, this again is still fine. If we flip now, I want it to happen pretty quickly though. Last thing you're gonna do is be triggered into a trade with a few minutes to London Open. Still not in, guys. Read your scalp playing BTC. All right, I think I'm about to be triggered. The green light is flashing.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yep. Still not triggered in. Oh, now I'm in.
Oh, really? Oh, that's...
All right, so I'm in. For the journal later. All right, so we've got a couple pips profit on the table. Here we go. All right, stop loss to entry. I've secured half. Job done in seconds.
Nice and quick.
Nice and quick. How we like it when it comes to trading. Guys, hope your mind's not in the gutter. So again, quick scalp, get some, you know, money on the board to begin the week. So we've still got a rudder. It's about 5 bit pips, 6 pips in profit. And that was all of 1 minute. All of 1 minute. But don't be greedy because we are coming towards the closure, or obviously towards the closure of the hourly, coming towards the open of London. So just wanted to quickly get into the move if I could, make the most of it. So yeah, Samuel, very nice, great shout, thank you, mate. Again, it made sense so long as we continue to remain above this level. I mean, it's just a matter of being triggered in with enough time prior to session open. So good work, guys. So we're still looking good. If anyone's still in this trade, you've got about 7-8 pips on the table at the minute. Hanji's gonna fall hard. Couldn't give a shit right now. I've already secured some profit, so he can fall hard if he wants. I really don't care. Joe and Joe, nice one. Yep. Told you. I told you as well. So, you know, I'm just following my plan, guys. So there you go. Got more than 10 pips on the table again. Let's go. Let's go, team. Smash the like button. There's over 200 of you on TikTok right now. I'm expecting a few more than 45 new followers. Trade call, trade taken. So if you've not secured anything, you've got about 11, 12 pips on the table. So I would suggest being a break even, seeing we are coming close to session open. Consider securing something. And a realistic target here would be 33, 23, 65. Let's go. Just the man, following the plan. That's all I do, guys, on the daily. 6-0 to begin June. What a start to the month. 6-0. Whilst everyone else is telling me it's going to sell, you're an idiot. I'm not saying you're an idiot, but everyone else is saying sell it. I'm just following my plan. I couldn't care less, guys. You're all entitled to your opinion. But if, as soon as I deviate from mine because someone says it's the opposite thing to do, then that's just me not trusting myself. GJ's popped back up. Yeah, so well done. Those who did take gold buys. We are rolling in the profit at the moment. Love it. These names, man, these profile names. 3341. Yeah, again, you got some resistance prior to it, so I mean, if you want a high time frame target, 33, I think it's a pretty realistic level. Look at that, guys. So we've got about 16 pips on the table right now, 17 pips. And it's about to tap into a very realistic target. Trade it God before every trade. Look, if you're a man of faith, then I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. LZ still in the trade. Nice one. Yeah, look at that, guys. Smashing it. Look at that. What a cracking start to the week. So I'm going to secure the majority right here. Yeah, so I've secured the majority right here. And that's about 25 pips, 26 pips on the table where I secured the most of the trade at that point now. So looking really good. Gold trade can enter trades for $2-3 profit. Mate, remember, we're trading with leverage here, so it's a little bit more than $2 or $3. Cruz X Dirks, because God bless you. Yep. Ash 33 20 50 33 23. Boom. Nice one. Nice one, mate. John Joe. That you're holding. Okay, just be wary again, guys. We are approaching session open, so are we just grabbing some liquidity from the upside, and have we just swept the Asian session high before we head back down? Now, bearing in mind, we've flipped the structure bullish now on the 30-minute time frame, so that is now in line with the daily structure itself. Not that I'm so worried about the structure in the daily. The 4-hour is also technically bullish the way I see it. And we now have counter probabilities also in the 4-hour being to the upside. So it would not surprise me if we do perhaps pull back, but only to create a higher low and continue to the upside. That's the way I see it at the minute, to be honest. Yeah, but the runner is probably going to get taken out shortly. It's all good. Petrolina, where is TP? Well, a realistic level for me was 23.65. I've secured pretty much the whole thing. I've got like 10% of a runner. Gold try, I mean 33, 20, 23. If it's not $10, I won't open. Well, that's fair enough. It's again, it's up to you, mate. I do what works for me. Joe and Joe, you see straight bullish. Secure good profit for the morning. Runner can do what he wants at break him. Ash, that's a good way to go about it, mate. 7 mood TP again. The realistic level is 23.65. I've pretty much taken all of it off the table. I've got a tiny position remaining. James, good day to you. GJ pulling back into previous support. Possible sellers who breaks its low. Sorry, that was probably from a while ago. Comment. No, I actually Franco mentioned that. Would I consider it? But no. It's in an uptrend too. So this is the concern about trying to counter trend trade. Something that's bullish across the board. The bias is bullish across the board. It's a slow trickle to the downside. Every time it looks like it's about to break, it just finds support again. Because remember, we are on a big strong uptrend here on GJ, and that previous weekly candle was a very strong bullish candle. So perhaps we're just pulling back to grab a little bit more liquidity from the downside before we head back up to make the move up. So the issue is buying it. I don't have any clean areas to buy it from until back above 195, 930 roughly. But I'd be hesitant to sell it due to the fact that it is in a very strong uptrend, and off the back of that previous weekly candle. Excuse me. Good morning to you as well. Nahul, what about the bullish fair value gap? Just asking. I don't trade fair value gaps. I could not care less about them. Again, I do what I do. Not saying it's it's shit or whatever. I have no opinion of it because I don't need to trade it. What I do is not broke. So why would I need to worry about it? Which broker? Xauusd. I'll type it into the chat. Good to know the issues are fixed with it as well. It's not lagging like it was last week. True Blue, hold buys all-time high this week. Is that on gold you're predicting? I mean, anything could happen. I'm of the firm belief that gold will continue bullish in the long run. Nothing goes up in a straight line forever. Although if you look at Bitcoin, you probably think it does. Even though that pulls back through on the, occasionally to grab some more liquidity from the market before it heads back up. So every trade, guys, that I take on stream or on a live MY call with my team, I journal, and there we go, taps into TP. So better. And I also do a little interactive video, just a short form video, like a 2-minute video, recapping why I took the entry and how it went and how it went about managing the entry. And every other trade that I take is called in the trade ideas section. Absolutely killing it. We are killing it. Yojo, is that gold? Yes, this is gold. Kitsul, good day to you. Can you start Forex from £100? You could. But if you practice proper risk management, it's going to take a fair while to build that up. But again, it's a good way to go about it. And what you could do is, if you're profitable and consistent and you follow your rules, you have the discipline. Once you make enough profit, you could perhaps think about taking that profit out and putting it into a challenge. But you need to prove to yourself that you're consistent, you have the discipline to follow your rules and that, because they're very strict with their rules when it comes to what you can and can't do. Very deep political tension, so gold might also got. Yep, yellow crab TP. So it's tapped into a level that I would really have considered taking a full TP at. But once again, how many were in the chat were saying to sell? And all I'm doing is following my rules. Why it was a buy for me is because we continued to respect this level. We kept pulling back to it. So if we would eventually come back down, then what we're likely going to do is start to close some candles back bearish back below. The fact of the matter is we kept flipping. And what gave me even more confidence was the fact that we didn't get triggered in until after this 15-minute candle. And that was a strong confirmation that we're ready to perhaps continue bullish. And it's exactly what has happened. So great start to a new week. And that was a very nice win on my end. So all right, London Open, guys. Let's see, is gold going to continue to push? Your next potential target point would be 33.25, 25.70. Let's have a look at GJ. All right, again, still there is just no no momentum at all. It's just in a slow trickle to the downside. It's not really forming any structure at the minute. So for me, I'd be staying well away from GJ. It's still the exact same level for me to contemplate an entry at the minute, and that is buys above 195, 930. Sells, you know what, I'm probably just going to avoid looking to sell it until I have a catalyst, such as 30-minute structure flipping back. Bearish, sorry, which is far away. GU at session open, so it's closed above. You got, mate? Go for it.
I was just saying, I've decided the same when GJ just buys or nothing. There's always tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. And at least, even if you've not flipped any structure by tomorrow, because there's a good chance it won't, because it's a fair way off. At least if you got a daily closing bearish, then you can play it off the back of that, and the daily counter probabilities being to the downside. That would make more sense to start to look for sells. GU's closed above, but there is no margin. EU at some resistance by the looks of things. A little bit of margin to the upside in the 4 hour, but the 30-minute is definitely at a level, and it's a little congested further to the left-hand side, so not looking great for EU entries at the minute. And the 30-minute is actually bearish, so if the back of that, I would prefer to look for the sells just because it's a lot cleaner. It doesn't mean I'd sell it just now. Your best probable entry point for me would be price come back below 114.10. That's the most recent support formed below the current resistance. If it was to close below, retest it, then I feel it's a good option. Take it back down to 113.90 roughly. So well done to anyone who took that gold buy with us. Fred, EU pullback continuation. Arafin, I love you. I'm in along from 23.18. 33.18, I was gonna say. 18% profit, mate. Don't be greedy. Whatever you do, please don't be greedy. Please secure it, or at least the majority of it, and just leave it runner. Kit, can I buy now? I think you're a little bit late to it, and the fact of the matter is it's still, right now it's at some resistance. It's albeit a minor resistance, but it could easily reject it. So next potential entry point for the buys, I feel at best above 33.2651. If the price was to begin to close above that point there, or if it does pull back to retest this previous resistance and holds as support yet again, and looking for a price action catalyst from that point would also definitely make sense. So that would be your next options here on gold. Yojo, again, you guys need to have a plan as to where you want to secure, how you're going to go about managing the trade when you take it. I mean, it's up to you. I'm not in it anymore. I'm secured the whole thing. It was a great start to the week. 6-0, guys. 6-0 for the beginning of the month. Every single one of these trades is called either on this call, on the MY call, or in this section. Last week, 5 of the trades were taken away from the stream. So it is what it is. I have no idea when it will present. All I have to do is follow my plan, my rules. And if I'm on the charts, take the entry, fantastic. If I'm not, so be it. LES, you think it will arrive to 3333? Again, it could do anything. Yes, there's a chance it could do so, but I am really not concerned at all about whether it does or not. All I'm concerned about is where we currently are at and what, you know, options I potentially have. I never trade based on what I think will happen. I react to what I see happening. That's the only way you could go about it if you ever want to be a successful trader. If you're not so concerned, and you're not, I mean, it's like a part-time thing or a bit of a hobby, and you're more following maybe fundamental news and that type of thing, and maybe if you believe gold is very bullish, and you could just off the back of that maybe take a small buy position and not worry so much. But it's just not what I do, you know, based off the fact that you think it's going up because of what's happening around the world. That's what I mean. But again, I react to what I see. So at the minute, if you're not in a gold buy, you just need to relax. See you, Bao. Buy more. To be honest, guys, what I want for gold to do is exact opposite to what it's been doing. I want gold to absolutely dump. I would love for it to dump. Not trading wise. Trading wise, I couldn't care less, up or down. I really couldn't give a shit because I can trade it in either direction. As long as I follow my plan, I know I'll be right more than 80% of the time. Why I want it to dump is because I want to accumulate physical. And it's just, for me, there's better value out there than gold at the minute when it comes to accumulating physical. One being silver. Platinum's actually, it's at some highs at the minute, so I think platinum may have slightly missed the boat on that one as well. Yeah, wow. This is today. Wow. Yeah, definitely missed the boat on platinum. Shit. So I swear to God, I was looking at platinum about maybe 2 weeks ago and hesitated, and that's what happens. Anyway, all gone. Yeah, silver's definitely, I feel, better value. Perhaps some cryptos as well. Copper, I'm not into copper, to be honest. I know silver is also considered by many to be industrial metal, but it also has monetary value. I think a lot of people still consider it a monetary metal as well. So I think that's where it probably differentiates a little bit from platinum, from copper, sorry. Aaron, hope you're well, brother. ByBit, morning to you as well. Well, good afternoon, good evening from Oz. No weakness. What time frame are you in, if you don't mind me asking? 15-minute time frame. 30-minute catalyst prior to it, so the 30-minute confirmed the structure flip. Use a Bitcoin very bullish, extremely bullish, because it continues to respect that 100k level. Psychological round number dropped back down to 101, I think it was. Anything above it, and I just feel at some point it's going to retest, create a higher high, create a new all-time high. Not only that, but why that 100 level is key is because not just the psychological round number, it's also a level where if we remain above it, the structure is still bullish here on the daily time frame, the higher time frame. So if we remain above that point, then the only way, in my opinion, is up. It may go sideways for a bit. Don't get me wrong. It's not, may not just pump. Oops, there's one little one. However, as long as it remains above it, I would definitely prefer the buy options. Talking about trading wise just now. Wow, looks a bit choppy. Let me quickly mark it up actually. Wow, just drag it up to that high. Support is the most recent. M30, I would say it's bullish as long as it remains above this support, so I'd be looking for options to buy it. Yeah, it's just consolidating at the minute though, so clean out traffic above this point here. 105.970 for a quick scalp up to 106.30 roughly. So gold's still going. I don't think it ever came back to entry. JMINB7, thank you for the sticker. Kit as well, thank you too. Excuse me, guys. Osama, I buy now. Where's stop loss? I mean, you need to have a plan for that, my friend. If I was in a trade for whatever reason just now, if I decided to take a buy just now, my stop loss would be below the previous M15. And that is a good chance that could get hit, but I just wouldn't be buying it right now. Because there is a chance it could come back down to retest that zone and then grab liquidity from that level before it bounces again. But again, I would not be in a trade just now. I would not be buying it unless you're in from earlier. Too late, my friend. But a bit like I do on gold. In Gunga, can I do copy trading with you? I don't offer copy trading service. I was contemplating it and considering it, but I've been well put off by what I've seen happen with a few other services. No, I've never ever participated in one, but obviously there was a big one last year, and the person who was in charge of it lost a fair substantial amount of cash, client cash. So anything could happen, no matter how good a trade you are. I'd rather just trade my own accounts, plain and simple, less stressful. Or family accounts, something like that. That's something I do quite regularly. Gold trader physical silver has premiums when you sell it. It's a discount, so you have to hold forever. Not necessarily, mate. No, that's not correct. Yes, premiums. Gold has premium too. Every metal has a premium. When you buy it from a bullion dealer, that's how they make their money, mate. They have a premium on top of it, on top of the spot price. However, if you deal with a reputable dealer, bullion dealer, they will offer you, when you go to sell your metal, they will give you a spot price for it. They won't care less about how rare the coin is. So for instance, if you're into numismatics and that type of thing, they couldn't give a shit. You're best to try to find a collector. But otherwise, if you've got 1 ounce of silver, they'll give you the spot price for it. At least mine will, anyway. So that's not true. And if you're buying it for a holding purpose, I'm got to be careful what words I say, just in case I get a ban. Then I buy the ones with the lowest premium, because you're getting closest to spot. So for instance, 55 Aussie dollars, would you say it is right now? If I was to buy it right now, I'd be looking at paying about 59, which isn't bad. 58, 59. But I have conviction in it long term. I believe it's going to be a lot more than $59 if I was to buy it right now. So I couldn't care less. Even if it drops a bit, I'm happy to buy it and hold it. And I know I can easily liquidate it if and when need be. But for me, I'm holding it for a long time. I'm holding it so I can hand it to my son at some point in the future. That's why I'm holding it. I have no interest in selling it at all just now. What I may be interested in doing though, moving forward, is once the ratio goes from what it is now, which is like 1 to 100 gold to silver ratio, talking about the price, if it gets back to its mean, which is around that 60-50, or if silver goes into a real bull run, which it can do, and gets to around that 30, I'm just going to swap the majority of it into gold, and my bullion dealer is happy to do that. So you just got to find a reputable dealer. Wagyu, is it too late to buy? Yeah, I believe it's too late to buy without letting it reset. Trojan, MNQ. So it's about NQ. Strong bullish weekly. This is marking the current daily low. Bit of consolidation in daily, but we are consolidating above some previous resistance here to the left. Structurally, it is bullish as well. Looking at the 4 hour, that has it flipped bullish? No, it's not. So the way I see it, it's still technically bearish as long as it remains below this wick. So that's maybe why it's having a bit of issues at the moment, trying to pop above this resistance here. So I'd just be marking for the beginning, for the time being, for that, be marking this whole level. I'll be marking this level in as support. That could be a potential entry point to the downside onto the 30-minute time frame, and that is also bearish. So off the back of that, I see the bias being neutral. However, the traffic not being too clean to the upside, I would personally, I ignore it, and I'd rather wait for it to create a clean move, see how price reacts to resistance for options to sell it. Or if it makes a clean move back down, that's when I start to look for options to buy it within the current range. Excuse me. Otherwise, below the current daily candles low, it's in line with the structure. We do have some pretty clean traffic down towards that 21, 660, 670 sort of region. So that could be a good option to take some sells from below the current daily candles low, the support formed at that particular level. Thank you to new subs on YouTube as well, guys. Richard Morris, thank you for doing the stream. I'm learning more here than years of courses. That's all good, mate. Again, I feel I can get the best out of people. If they're willing to commit and give it time, I can really get the best out of people. And I go above and beyond for my guys. You ask any of them, quite a lot of them ask me questions, and I'll ask, can we maybe jump on a call to chat about it, and I'm more than happy to do so. I'm not one of those mentors or coaches that are unapproachable or just won't reply to messages. I'm very, very hands-on with my team. Always asking how everyone's going, always making sure things are being understood. Right after, well, not right after the stream, but later on today, there is an education session where the members get the chance to ask as many questions as they like. And I cover all topics. I have one I want to cover today, for in case you guys have nothing that you really have, you know, that you want to be covered. CS, you might be right in thinking manipulation to the upside is in lower during MI, but I don't think I want to enter until it shows something. That's fair enough. Again, I don't trade fair value up, so I couldn't care less about that level. GJ for our fair value gap. What do you think, mate? Yeah, as I just said, I don't trade fair value gap, so I couldn't care less about them. Could not care less about them. I know it's probably not the popular thing to say, and everyone, it's the in thing. I.C.T, fair value gaps, imbalances. Whatever happened to good old price action? Everyone forgot about it. And the reason why a lot of people forgot about it and flicked out the window is because they just didn't have the patience to wait for the right signals, or they weren't too sure what the right signals are. And now someone's come along with fair value gaps and all this stuff. I gotta be careful what I say because I rub people the wrong way. But it's the same shit. If you don't know how to use it, then it's not gonna be, you're not gonna be profitable either way. So for me, it's never been broke. So I don't need to trade fair value gaps. Not interested at all by them. ByBit gold target 33.33. It's an MA. Okay, fair enough. XAU live. Personally, I'm looking for some shorts at 33.36 from. Yeah, that's fair enough as well. At least I respect it because you guys have plans. You're not just saying to me what I think. Should I do that? Shouldn't I? Understand. That's fine. I will always answer those questions. But at the end of the day, you guys need to follow your own plan. Kaidi, hello to you. Tom's how to make profits. Take a trade, take a profitable trade. You secured a profit. And you're making profit. Sorry, mate. It's a very general question. Didn't mean to sound like a smart ass, but there's so much to it. Xauusd, can you please guide me which app to install between IC Market C Trader and I use MetaTrader, mate, so I'm not sure. M23X, what time do you start your lives? Well, usually about an hour and a bit before London session open. Tuesdays and Fridays about 30 minutes prior to the open. Cuddy, what time frame? 15. Ali, there are so many fair value gaps. Which one to choose is important? That's the question. Yeah, see, I have no idea because again, I don't trade them. And everything to me looks like it could be a fair value gap because I just don't trade it, so I don't know it. And like I said, I don't need to trade it because what I do is not broke, so why would I bother? And yeah, I understand that. We've had this discussion before. I'm not saying it's shit or I'm not dismissing it as stupid or, you know, not questioning why people would trade it. But people keep saying to me, we've got this fair value gap, I ain't concerned by this and that. No, I'm not. I'm not concerned by it whatsoever. Because what I do is not broke, so why should I be concerned by it? I need to just trust my own analysis. Gold, continuing. The next potential entry point could be above this zone. Look at it now, wow. Ali, agree, yep. All up, mate, all up. I appreciate the support. And I respect that fact that everyone trades a bit differently. So yeah, so when someone asks me what I think of it, I'm not the man to ask because I just don't know enough about him. I wouldn't have any idea which one's valid, which one's not. Look at this, wow. Anyone's still got a runner. Any of my guys still holding a position here on gold?
No, I'm fully out.
All good, mate. It was a nice trade. Good way to start the week.
Yeah, it really was.
Matthew, free trades. What? Took a trade, called a trade, live on stream already.
Hi, Justin.
Elise, how are you? Welcome.
I'm fine, thank you. Yourself?
All good, all good. What's going on?
Looking at 15 minutes gold at the moment.
Yep.
We had a little bit pause before it's going up.
Correct.
Should we consider interruption play or because the
Yep.
area is the left side is not looking good, it won't be valid.
You could consider it because the fact that we're closing above it, I feel we're kind of invalidating that zone. We're wiping through it. So long as it closes strong above it, then I would say it is valid again. The other option could be though, if it closes right up near its high, you could even buy limit, look for buy limit zone to zone at the high of that bearish candle. But yeah, the actual interruption play, you're 100% right, it's potentially setting up. So you just now need to wait for it to close. Look, with the volume at the minute, let's just mark in 10 pips above and see what it looks like. Just so what's the high of that bearish candle?
Yep. Okay.
So you're looking at 60. Because with there being quite a lot of volume at the minute, yeah, so definitely has to close above that point, and that's above that resistance as well, and then you've confirmed we've wiped out that zone. So yeah, well spotted.
Okay, Justin, thanks.
No, not a problem, my pleasure. ByBit, I always look for confluence for targets, but gold is tricky, often tends to reverse slightly early. So if that's the case, then maybe target just a little bit below or above or whatever your intended target, if that makes sense. So if it's the resistance, for instance, just there, target a little bit lower down. So there could be another valid entry here, guys, but personally I'm not going to bother. I'm happy with the one trade for the week. I mean, not for the week, for the start of the new week. And it was a good win. So I'm going to stick with that. But the potential re-entry here is what we call the interruption play. And that is, we've had nice clean impulse. We have one candle within it, close back bearish. So that's the pause. And only for it to then be engulfed on the following candle. And what tends to happen, and this is a really high probability trade, is the price will create slow wick, tapping into the high of that bearish candle, bounces off it, continues bullish. But it needs to close very strong engulfing. If it doesn't, then it's not valid. So at the minute, it's not valid when it's pulling back. Thank you to the new followers, the almost 100 of you. Sure, to go over to 100 in a sec.
Are there any buys from support on Gbpjpy, Justin? I know not right now. Is there anything that
Hard, man.
would make you want to do that?
It needs to make a clear move down, to be honest, because buying back up into this is difficult because of all these wicks. I still see the exact same entry point above 195, 930. Otherwise, if it does eventually pull back down towards 195, 350, that sort of level, that's pretty much all I can see.
Yeah, fine.
So let's see if it is valid here on gold. Doesn't look like it will be, but we'll wait and see. Joshio still in from 33.12, secured some profit. Nice one. 560, one position. No name. Possible zone to zone on an interruption play. Yeah, the zone to zone limit order would have had to close above that resistance. It's obviously not doing that, and the interruption play is not valid as well because it's rejecting. But I'm sure you're fully aware of that just now. Prasanna, yes, I'm holding. Okay. Joe and Joe, good stuff. Tariq brought yesterday night 3,300 and waiting to sell 33.38 and wait for my short. All right, that's fine. That's completely fair enough. At least you've got a plan. Happy to hear it. Andres, is this futures? No, this is spot gold. Jahul, hello to you. ByBit has already started to close slightly below ideal targets, so just give advice. Fair enough. Can't come on here and promote a group, whatever it is, crypto, Forex, whatever. You get bad, mate. How about GU and EU? What are they up to? Nothing on either of them, to be honest, at the minute. Aussie dollar keeping really strong. Happy to see that personally. Euro CAD. EJ looks exactly the same as GJ. Shocker. Yeah, so not much happening at the moment. Nasib GU, yeah, we've had a look at it. There's nothing on it at the minute. The buy is going to be, in fact, there is no buy above that resistance. There's no margin whatsoever. So for me, GU is, to be honest, I'd probably just focus on the 4-hour level and see how price reacts to it and look for sells if it does reject. 30-minute structure actually is flipped bullish though. So I'd much rather the sell option still, and that would be upon the catalyst being the 30-minute flipping back bearish below 135.490. So I'd be waiting for a closure below that point there for a sell. Otherwise, if price was to pull back and respect that point, a clean move back down to it, you could potentially look to buy it back up. Otherwise, I don't really see much on GU, to be honest. Just the current level, there is no margin to the upside. I'm looking forward to the education session, guys. I do have something I want to cover if no one has any questions from my group. But if you do have questions, feel free to come with those, and I'm more than happy to answer those as well. That will be in probably about 2 hours from now, roughly. It's about 10:30 a.m. UK time, 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Yes, this is Gold. Cranberry due tomorrow. Not much on that today, nothing on it today at the minute. So off the back of that, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up. Already had a nice win here on Gold today. Good start to a new week. Been a fantastic start to the month, 6-0 so far. And we keep on keeping on. So we'll be doing the same thing tomorrow, just reacting to what we see, following our plan, and we'll see what we can come up with. In the meantime, guys, make sure to smash that like button on YouTube, TikTok. Make sure to follow if you've not already done so. Make sure to get your notifications so you know when I do go live. I'll be on tomorrow from about 30 minutes prior to London Open. So a little bit of a later start tomorrow. And if anyone wants to know a little bit more about what I do, there's links in my profile, TikTok, YouTube, down in the description below. To my team, good start to the week. I will catch you guys in a couple hours from now. Take care, guys.
Cheers, Justin.
Thanks, bro. See you shortly.
Cheers, guys.
See you.
See you guys. And YouTube, TikTok, catch you all once again tomorrow. Until then, have a good one, trade safe. Cheers, team. Bye.